Hello guys, this is King of Mayhem here. I'm just going to go through and try and make a mod here. I've never made one before, so this will kind of be a tutorial and a learning experience. I'd also like to eventually maybe get into making some models with Blender, I believe it is. That's what I would use to make objects that would actually appear in the game, but we will see how far this goes, and hopefully we have a good time. So since I am King of Mayhem, I'm going to name this folder KOM as a reference to me, and then I am going to add some folders in here. I'm going to try and follow the folder structure of the game. So let's rename this to Primal Earth. I think that's right. Okay, and then we will put another folder in here called Structures. And then I am going to copy these three files over into my my KOM folder, which is my mod folder. And this one I actually put in the wrong one. Okay, so I should have three files in here, which I do. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this primal game data. Just give it a second to load here. So this is where I will give it a mod name. So I will go King of Mayhem's mods, if I can type. And a description. I wonder what this is. So from here we will we can do this is where we add our Engram blueprints. So any items that we add in, as I understand, we put them in here, and this is where they will show up in our Engrams when we try and learn them in the game. Another thing we want to look at is we want to point this where it is. Somewhere we need to tell it to come to this file right here. We need to tell it to look at that. Right here. Default game mode. So we want to tell this to look at the game mode that we copied from generic mod here. So we copied this. Right now it's looking at this game mode. So I want to come back and I want to tell it to look at this game mode. So I'm going to click on this so it selects it here, and then I can just click this button right here, and that brings that into here. We're going to wait for this to rebuild. Another way we could do this is we could have come in here and selected it from here, but it'd be hard to distinguish which one it is until we rename this, which is what we're going to do next. So this is generic mod. I'm going to rename this to KOM mods. And you can't put a space like this. You got to put like an underscore if you want to put a space to do that. As you notice, I changed the name of this. It changes right here too. So the game's pretty smart. It does that on its own. Or the Ark Dev Kit's pretty smart. So we'll save, compile, and for right now I'm done in there. So I'm actually going to rename it at this point too. So I'm just going to take the end where it says generic mod. I'm going to go to the KOM underscore mod. This level here, I'm going to also name this as a KOM mod. And save. So this is what points to all the files that the mod will look at. So anything saved in here will be associated with the mod. So I'm going to go through and make sure everything's saved. Save selected. And I should be done in there for now. So I'm going to now I want to add a structure. So to do that, I'm going to come into Primal Earth Structures, and I'm just going to pull one out. Let's start with, so I want a structure that's going to have an inventory, that's going to be able to craft things. Actually, let's scratch that. I want to have a structure. I just want to craft a new item. So I am going to go into items. I want to find berries. Let's see, where are berries? Potato, raft, pumpkin. Okay, right here, berries. This is bridal. I have consumables. So items, consumables. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to stick with the in-game folder structure. So I'm going to add a folder. Add a folder. going to take consumable I want to start with narco berries. Always want to copy. I don't want to take anything out of the in-game structure. So now that I have this, is what I want to do is I want to make it to where when I craft 100 berries and a bag that I'll make later, it will turn into a bag of berries. So now I've got my actual item, which is a narco berry here. So I'm going to change that to bag of narco berries. Now I want an engram to make that. So I go to Primal Earth Core Blueprints, which I just realized that I actually have missed a folder. So this item is supposed to be in here. So I'm actually going to move it this time. And then back in this core blueprints, I'm going to create another folder. It will be Engrams. Let's just grab a simple engram. So whatever I make, I want to make about 100 of them, which I'm not sure exactly where I do the quantity, but if I remember right, bullets are already 100 items. Bag of narco berries. So now I want to point this at my items, consumable, a bag of narco berries. Point it at here. So that's indicating that, you know, once I unlock this blueprint, which I'm gonna require a level of 15 and 2 engram points to make it. I'm gonna select this. This means that I can make it in my inventory. And we will give it a description. This is just what it will look like when you hover over the engram. A bag full of berries. Save, compile. And I should be done with that for now. So now I need to come back to this to the game mode. Sorry, primal game data. Come up here to Engram classes, and if I hit add element, that's going to add a new entry at the bottom, but I actually want to add it at the top here. That way it will show up in the top. Come back to Engrams, click on this, select it. So now we have an engram that will appear at the very first of our items. When we look at engrams, it'll be the very first one in the engrams list in the game. So I'm going to cut away for a second. I'll be right back. I'm just going to kind of go do a little more research. I'm a little lost on where I got to go from here. Okay, I'm back. I'm just think I got figured out what I was looking at. So if I come back to my folders and go to item consumables and go to this bag of berries that I created, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to scroll down to base crafting resource requirements. So this is where I go, okay, what do I want to use to make this? And I'm going to use 100 computer's holding up. Okay. Narco. So I'm indicating right here 100 narco berries will make a bag of, or 100 of these narco berries will make a bag of narco berries. As what I'm going to do here is once I have 100 narco berries, it creates one bag of narco berries. I'm going to make it so that the weight is less than when you have 100 narco berries. That way you will be able to hold more of these than a regular way, and then you'll be able to bring them to a location and pull them out of their bag and use them in a crafting recipe or whatever. So I think I am done here. Compile, and not really sure if there's anything else I have to do, so I'm going to go ahead and come to my level, save all those. Okay, just checking, see if any of these need compiled. That doesn't. Good there. Save. Save, compile. I don't think I put anything in here. Okay. Let's test it out. I don't know if this is going to work, so we will see. So go to world settings. So right now, if I load a world, it's going to use the generic mod. I want to use a KOM mod. And we will test it out and see if it worked. So I'll just give it a second here and okay, I'm back, and it's the moment of truth. So, if this doesn't work, just keep in mind, this is my first mod. I'm learning. Just wanted to teach you guys as I learn to do it with you. Let's see. So, I want to see if I've got the engram, which it looks like I do. I mean, that looks like it's probably the berries. It's hard to say if I type in. Yeah, that is a narco berry there. So it looks like the engram worked. I do need to be level 15. So if I add experience, oh, how much do I want to add? And then if I add 100 narco berries, we should be able to learn this engram and hopefully craft some. So I need to be 15. Fairly common. So looks like I've still got a requirement for a simple bullet, which I will get rid of that, but for now, let's see, a simple bullet needs gunpowder, which needs spark, powder, gunpowder, simple bullet, which needs so now I've got that requirement out of the way and I can learn this, and we will see if I can create. So it should be craftable in here now. Consumables, berries. So there, it's in folders, or if you go to show all, it'll show up here. So I've got 101 berries. If I craft item, now I have 1 berry, which is correct. So these do show up. I mean, I can't combine these. So they are different items, but it still just says narco berry and has the same description. So I need to work on that. It still has the spoilage timer, which I want to get rid of. And then I didn't ever define this as being not something that you can eat. So it's going to have all the same properties that a narco berry had, which is something I'm going to work on another day. But for now, I think this is as far as I'm going to go today. Thanks for watching. I mean, this is a first for me in a few different areas. This is the first time I've worked with the Ark Dev Kit. I spent about an hour with it yesterday. I watched a couple YouTube videos. I got a shout out thanks to the real Azrael from Ark Reborn. He sent out a good video on how to make an electric fence, and then I forget his name, Hayden's I think it was, from the Ark Dev team. He released a video on setting up my first mod through YouTube, and so I watched those, and that's gotten me this far, so I gotta really say thanks to those guys. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. I enjoyed making it. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff.